back to another episode of Rep and Repeat Podcast. We are currently on episode number 7, and I am your host, Tommaso Abbattiscianni, and this is my lovely co-host,
Mattice.
Welcome back to another episode, guys. And today's topic is something that I think that we really need to discuss, especially when it comes to health, fitness, and especially longevity. And that is the importance of rest days, and things that could alter our rest state that we want to avoid as best as we can or limit. So, what's your take on rest days, Tom? If you're training hard in the gym, working out consistently, have a full 9 to 5 job, what's your take on rest days and the importance of them?
So it's actually a great question. I've had actually a couple of clients this weekend talk about rest days. So it depends on like where we're at in a phase. If we're in an off season, I'm a huge component on having at least 2 to 3 rest days a week. You know.
Yeah.
I actually had this conversation with one of my clients. You know, she was somebody that wanted to train 6 days a week. She would train 7 days a week if I would let her. But I said to her, I was like, if we're going to do that, like, you're not going to have enough time to recover, especially because she's natural, too. So it's like, she's not having that time to actually recover.
Right.
When I was young and got into, like, training, I remember that I trained for, it was 42 days straight in a row.
Wow.
But I wasn't thinking, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't thinking.
Good? You felt good?
I felt strong.
Okay.
Like, my brother is 6'5", to about 300 pounds.
Wow.
And I was out pushing him.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't realize, like, I was just getting stronger. I wasn't getting any bigger.
Right.
You know, and my goal was to get bigger, and I wasn't taking those rest days. So now I do more rest days. I think rest days are huge, and they're crucial for, first of all, obviously recovery.
Yep.
You know, if you're trying to build, you're going to need to take those rest days. And I know a lot of people are using the gym as as therapy.
Yeah.
So instead of going to the gym to really beat yourself up, go stretch, do a little bit of cardio, do the things that you normally don't do, like forearms,
Active
calves.
rest day.
Yeah.
Active rest day, they call them, I think.
And I think those
just
work
movement,
well.
right? Movement, some type of movement.
Some kind of movement. Even taking a hike,
Yeah,
you know?
you don't have to take a full day off where you're laying in bed all day, but definitely keeping the body in motion is definitely critical.
Completely agree. And I think
even just even for recovery itself, like
without a doubt, because you got to get that muscle to move.
You got to get the nutrients flowing through the body. You got to get the blood flowing, the oxygenation, all that stuff.
Yep.
I agree with you.
So I think it's huge, especially in off season. So like for example, like one of my bigger guys, he's 255 right now.
Wow.
We like to do push-pull legs, but then what's happening by the time he gets push-pull done, he tells me like legs are just, he's tired. So I have him doing a rest day and then doing legs.
Yeah.
And then he'll take another rest day, and then he'll train push-pull rest. And I mean, that's what is that, 3 days a week he's resting?
And that's the thing too, especially a lot of people do push-pull legs, but I think that it should be a little bit separate. I think it's better off to do pull-push legs, because when you're training pull, which is a back day essentially, and then you got to do like you're training your back, and then you're training your legs the next day.
Yeah.
All that spinal compression and that load on your hips and on your back from legs.
Yeah.
And from the previous day's training on back day, it's gonna be fatiguing.
Yeah, it's gonna
I think
hinder you.
So personally, when I make my clients' programs, I don't plan their leg days after a back day.
That's
It's always
actually a
the
really good
opposite.
idea. I think that's smart. I really didn't think about that, because especially when you add deadlifts in there,
Exactly.
and like and then now the next day you're gonna do RDLs.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna hinder a lot of those
It's
results
gonna make
you're looking for.
Yep, that, and it's going to make you weaker. You're not going to be 110%.
Especially your lower back.
Either that or take a rest day, like you were saying with your client.
It's a great. I never thought about that. Now going to like when somebody's on prep, I usually tell them to take 1 rest day a week. Again, I'm trying to burn the maximum calorie count while holding muscle at the same time in a calorie deficit.
Right.
But if they need to take a rest day, it's not the end of the world, because realistically, you're gonna have to do cardio anyways. You're gonna have to be active regardless.
Right.
So again, I think it depends. Like when you're on prep, obviously one rest day is crucial in my eyes. But if you need to take 2, take the 2. It depends on where you're at, realistically.
It depends on where you're at. You have to go with how your body's feeling. You can't, it's either you're lazy and you don't want to train, or you need the actual rest day.
Yep.
Right? And we spoke about this a lot with my preps too. Like some days I'm like, Tom, I just need a rest day. Like, even though it's not planned, like, I just need to take a day off.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we're doing tomorrow. So I'm supposed to train tomorrow, but instead I have a massage appointment, and so I'll do my cardio fasted in the morning and get my massage at nighttime. And the massage that I'm getting isn't a relaxing massage.
No.
So that's a workout.
No.
That's a workout alone. That's a 2-hour workout alone. Like,
Yeah.
people
And beating
don't-
the shit out of you.
I'm beating the shit out of
Yeah.
me. Is it going to make my body less fatigued in a certain way? But yes, but that night I'm going to be tired just from the massage alone.
Yeah. Another thing is true for my enhanced guys, or just guys that are willing to like take it to the next level. I've actually implemented people doing TB500 and BBC on the rest days.
Interesting.
And the reason why is because, like, why not? Like, why not give your body everything to recover?
100%. That's pretty interesting. Maybe we could utilize that in the off season.
Absolutely. I think it's one of the. I think it's being underutilized. I think it's utilized. This is what happens. I think it's utilized when people get injured.
Yeah.
But the problem is nobody's really doing the pre-injury.
Preventative
Yeah, the preventative stuff.
Okay.
And I've watched it happen where I'll get guys to like their biggest, their strongest, and then they blow something out.
Yeah.
And because you got to remember, it takes a lot to get to that point, and you've already kind of destroyed your body in a good portion of it, and now it's like you're not really giving it everything it needs to rest, especially when you're doing heavy weights and you're lifting a lot, and you know. So I kind of like to implement that, whether it's injectable, whether it's nasal or capsule.
Yeah.
I even have guys just doing preventative where they're just taking capsule BPC every other day or every day.
Okay.
Again, not doing full dose, but just giving their body enough to recover throughout the day.
Sending the signaling.
Yes.
Now, my only concern for that would be, this is a question for you, is that going to, what if we're using that every day? Is it just going to stop working at one point or no?
No. So the best way to think about it is like BBC and TB500, your body already produces and makes those things. So it's kind of like giving your body protein. So if you go to the gym and you don't eat protein, you're not going to grow. You don't have those building blocks. What TB500 and BBC are, once you inject them, now the little guys have building blocks to repair again.
Gotcha.
Instead of waiting for the food to come in, digest, and then send those building blocks to where they need to go, you're pretty much just taking it on, and now your body has them to utilize whenever you want.
That makes sense.
Now again, when you're not injured, do you need it every day? Listen, if money's not a problem, then do it every day. I think it's necessarily a good thing, especially with the BBC. But if you're kind of just like, I'm not really hurting, but I don't really want to blow through these bottles, do every other day. 250 mcgs, again, talk to your medical provider about that stuff. But I do think adding that in as a rest day protocol is going to be beneficial.
I totally agree, and I think that's something that I want to look into doing moving forward, just because I know my body's so sensitive to training, and like, I'm not built like a monster, like I have to take, thank you, I appreciate it. But
what I just seen here,
we had a great check-in a little bit before this.
So I'm excited to talk about prep for you, but yeah, what's something else you would implement during a rest day to maximize your rest day?
So, I mean, we could go into like a little bit of supplementation, right? But these are something that I take year round, which is the magnesium, the ashwagandha, stuff like that. And something that I think more people should do is on rest days, clearing house, meaning your environment, your space, making sure all that's good, your relationships, like on those rest days, you should be focusing on making the environment around you better.
Yeah.
And journaling, meditation, stuff like that. Utilize those rest days for things like that are going to make you feel more wholesome and more complete and more relaxed. So like if you're going home throughout the week and your house is messy, and then it's just very taxing on your mind. So try to utilize the rest days, and also it'll increase your non-exercise thermogenic activity, your NEAT, just by moving around the house. Like that's what I have planned to do all day. I got to vacuum, I got to sweep, I got to mop, I have to clean the bathroom, and just utilizing things like that. And then, like I said, supplementation with the magnesium, the ashwagandha. That's about it.
That's a good way to, like, you know what I tell some guys to do, especially when we're going into prep, and this is not for everybody, take an edible and take some naps.
Yeah, I was going to even say
take as many naps as possible.
Now, this is actually one of the topics that we were going to discuss today, is supplementation for recovery. and I wanted to see your approach on marijuana usage, right? And I think that there's a time and place for it, but I also think that it could be abused.
Absolutely.
And especially if you're trying to maximize your recovery, weed may make you feel calm and relaxed in the moment and maybe make you have a little bit less cortisol, you know, but for only a given amount of time that doesn't last all day. And if you're smoking weed like before bed, they say like 3 to 4 hours before bed, if you have THC in your system, it actually messes up your REM sleep.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't want to overdo it as well.
Yeah.
You know?
I think for me it's more the weed aspect is more when you're going into these either like heavier off seasons where like anything that's time is getting hard to sleep.
Yeah.
So like, you know, that you're 4 weeks out and it's like you're already starving.
Yep.
You know, I
Going to bed
definitely
hungry.
going to bed, literally waking up at 2 a.m. because you're starving.
Yeah.
I think it's beneficial for that because even if you're not going into REM sleep, you're still getting rest.
Yep.
Another thing that I actually like to do for guys is tell them to do the cryo.
Okay, I've never done before.
Yeah, so one of my clients a long time ago, Sean Fry, this is when cryo had came out. He had he started utilizing it, and no joke, Ben, he would feel more refreshed, and then he would actually burn more weight too. They say you burn like a good amount of weight while being in it.
Yeah, they say you burn brown fat in cold showers and cold environment, like cold plunges.
So I'm a fucking nutcase. So side note for like rest days, like when I decide to cut, what I do, no joke, bro, I'll go in my shower and I'll turn that and I'll have it normal like heat.
Start off warm.
Just normal, and then I'll just look 3, 2, 1, and then I'll turn that fucking heat off and sit in there for like a good 2 minutes.
2 minutes is good.
Shivering, and then what I'll do is I'll turn the water completely off. I'll shiver myself to warm.
Yep.
And then I'll do it again.
Interesting.
I'll do it twice, and that'll take my metabolic rate and throw it through the roof.
Yeah.
Bro, I do that every day. I'll be shredded within 4 weeks.
Yeah, you know, maybe I should start doing that again because
it's torturous.
I used to do that.
It's fucking torturous, but I do think that like it's a benefit, like a way to benefit. Like you're already taking a shower.
Yep.
Fucking just try it.
Yeah.
You know.
But definitely don't do it post workout.
No.
Yeah, they say you don't want to do cold plunges or anything too heat extreme post workout.
Yeah.
Because it's going to actually reduce inflammation, and we want the inflammation from our training.
Yes.
So whether it's you're taking Advil, cold plunges, post workout, this and that, Advil because you're sore, suck it up. You're sore, cry me a river. Like you'll be okay. Like this is part of the process. You being sore is actually your body's response saying, "Hey, we're inflamed. We need to send more nutrients here to repair, and build more muscle."
Yeah.
So I want to go
Great
back
point.
to the one point that you said though before when you trained 42 days in a row.
Yeah.
And you were gaining strength,
Mm-hmm.
but you weren't gaining muscle.
Yep.
You were just hitting a plateau.
Yep.
Did you know after those 42 days what made you take a rest day? Were you tired or you just?
So you know, I'll be very, you know, I'm always very straightforward. I was running a bunch of gear, and I was figuring my body's going to recover with the gear, and it to a degree it was, but I was getting stronger. I mean, when I'm telling you getting stronger, I mean I'm dumb strong.
Yeah.
People that know me, like it's just one of those things.
Guy benches like 450.
Yeah, it's I lose a leg. Actually, look at my shirt.
Every day is leg day. There you go.
But yeah, no, so I think what happened is my fibers actually started getting tighter and more dense the more I kept doing it. But then I got to a point where, like, I was doing it more for my mental state.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Makes
Like, I'm
sense.
already in that mode. I'm already geared the fuck out of my head.
Yep.
I'm young. I don't have much going on in life, so I'm like, well, let me double down on lifting.
Yeah.
And not realizing, like, if I were just to take 1 or 2 rest days that week, I would have made even more gains in the muscular aspect, not so much as strength, but my strength was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And not just because I was on gear, but it was more of the sense like I was just training. I was doing push-pull legs. I mean, at one point my quads were at 30 inches.
Wow. Yeah,
Like I was.
That's thick.
Yeah, they were some.
So that's another issue. What you said before though was you said that you were going for your mental state, and it's hard for a lot of people to take off from training when they're in that groove how you were in. Right, your things are firing. You're fucking blasting the gear. Your strength is going off the charts. It's like, why do I want to stop? Like, if I don't go to the gym today, I'm just gonna be bored and miserable.
Yep.
But that's where you need to be stronger as a person and say, hey, I need to pull back so I can gain more over time, because if you keep going and training like that, you're going to get injured, or you're going to get very fatigued, where you're not even going to want to train anymore. And I've been there, you've probably been there, where you just don't even want to fucking work out. Like, the workouts are miserable. You know, I'm starting to get to a point in my prep where the working out is fucking hard to get through.
Yeah.
You know, it's like depressing because I'm not really glycogen filled, like, because we're just burning at a rapid rate. Am I eating? Yeah, but I'm still burning at a rapid rate. You know, I do one set of fucking incline bench and I'm fatigued already, you know? So it's like trying to push through the rest of the workout. That's why rest is critical. Rest is, especially rest in a prep, you know?
Yeah.
Because you could run yourself to the ground. Like, we've done that before. Last prep, we ran myself to the ground.
Yeah, we did.
And that is so fatiguing, mentally, physically, emotionally, you know. That's why rest is critical, guys, and we can't stress that enough. You know?
When this is usually my line when I tell people, because they always say, listen to your body, and a lot of people, they're so new to this, they don't even know what their body is really telling them. So what I try to guide them to is, you know, when people say, listen to your body, you enjoy going to the gym, right?
Yep.
Most times, I would say at least 90%
of the time.
If you have that inkling, like, I don't feel like it,
don't go.
Don't go.
Yep.
That's, and I'm not saying this. This is where guys make the mistake. Well, I did 2 days and now I don't feel like going. No, I'm talking about the people that have been doing this now. We're talking like 2-3 years into this, and now they're just getting to that point where it's like, you know what? I don't feel like it today. And that's when you realize, like, okay, it's time to pull yourself back, you know? Because normally you're somebody that's like, oh, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to hit the gym. And if you have that inkling of just like,
just don't go. You're
don't
better
go.
off not training.
Completely
like, if
agree.
you feel like shit and you don't feel like training, you're probably going to have a bad workout.
Yeah.
If you're in that position where you've been doing this for years on end, you know, not just somebody that goes to the gym twice a week and says, that's just laziness at that point. You
Yeah. So I mean, so again, going back to rest days, definitely I would utilize them in off season. I would definitely try to do at least 2, if not 3. I'm a big component of the push pull legs, dog crap training. So I like doing that because you're hitting every muscle group and then you're getting that rest day. Second thing is try to get some naps in. Try to get as much sleep as possible. I usually like to have my guys doing a higher protein day on rest days because realistically carbs, my natural people, I like to have them doing higher fats because it's going to kind of balance out hormones. So with more protein, more fats, you get the recovery aspect plus the hormone balancing aspect. And then also too, like I said, like look into like BBCs and TB500s. Look into doing cold plunges, or like I said, doing the cold showers for the inflammation at night before going to bed. That'll
That's
help.
what I'm doing tonight.
It really does help a lot. It will help reset you too, especially with the magnesium. And I think, you know, just ensure where you're at. And then, like you said before, deep tissues. Working on either having a rest day where you do the deep tissue work, make sure you do mentally, like the mental preparation, where you're prepping meals that day, you're reaching out to people that you normally don't do, or cleaning your house, you know?
Something, just keeping your aura aligned and your energy in check.
That's the biggest thing. Keeping everything in place where you know you're not going to fuck up. You know?
Now, before we move on to the next topic, which will probably just be like some prep talk, I do want to talk about, real quick, the benefit of fat loss with rest and sleep. You burn fat when you sleep. You burn fat when you recover better, right? Because if your body's inflamed, your body's gonna hold on to whatever it's got, and it's not gonna want to burn body fat anymore. So, prioritizing your sleep, 7 to 8 hours is great. That's like ideal. And then I would say, limit the caffeine intake 10 hours before bed, because caffeine has a half-life of 5 hours. So that means you have 80 milligrams of caffeine. 5 hours later, you have 40 milligrams still in your body, in your bloodstream, for another 5 hours. So try to cut off your caffeine by like early afternoon, then go to bed. Because what I do now is, yes, I'm in prep, and yes, I want to have a lot of caffeine just to keep me going because I have no energy at all throughout the day. But I'll keep my caffeine intake till the morning, and I won't have any in the afternoon anymore because I don't want to fuck up my sleep because it's already getting harder to sleep. So it's like, let's be smart about this, right? And limit the caffeine intake. Control your impulses. That's like the hardest thing to do, but I think that makes you a stronger person as well.
Yeah,
you know?
I completely agree with you on that. That's a good point.
Coming from the energy drink king himself.
Yeah, I've been bad.
Well, I know you've gotten better though, because you told me you were doing like 4 or 5 a day.
There was a point where I was doing 4 a day.
Yeah. When energy drinks started becoming big.
Yeah, I'm a fat kid, so they remind me of soda.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? When I came to this country, that's all that's what they fed you. Like when you're poor, it's like $1 for those 2 liters.
Yep.
Your parents try to make it. So.
Yep. And I think also, energy drinks now, right? Because Tom owns a supplement store, Mile Factor. The energy drinks that you guys sell there, they're not just regular energy drinks that you're gonna find at a 7-Eleven or a local gas station, because you have to look at the ingredients. If I'm gonna put something like that in my body, especially a stimulant, I'm going to want to make sure that the ingredients are coming from good sources. So let's say, for example, a C4 has 10 milligrams of acetylcholine, which is good for your liver and good for your brain. Then you have, what else is in there?
Like green tea extract.
Green tea extract. So I'd rather choose a green tea extract caffeine source than a caffeine anhydrous source, because caffeine anhydrous source is more mass produced and it could be low quality caffeine.
Yeah, like the ghost drinks have L-carnitine in there.
L-carnitine.
Which is nice. And again, like you said before, I think it's smart to let people know, that half-life plays a big role. It's like, well, I drank it 10 hours ago. But you have to see what the half-life is on a lot of these things, because, like you said, now if you did 100 milligrams, which an energy drink is 200 milligrams, and if you do that 10 hours beforehand, and it's a 5-hour half-life,
100 milligrams.
You're still hitting 100, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So again, I think that's a great point, especially because it's going to hinder your sleep and hinder recovery and aspects.
And people will always say, I drink coffee before bed and I sleep fine. Bull fucking shit. It's impossible. You're getting quality sleep. You may feel good, but there's no way you're not conscious enough then. You're not conscious enough of your body, because it's a chemical reaction. You cannot stop that chemical reaction unless you're some genetic freak that everybody thinks that, oh yeah, it doesn't affect me. Trust me, that espresso before your bed is fucking killing your sleep. Yeah. Promise you.
Yeah, you're not getting into REM sleep as much as you want to.
It's scientifically proven. This is old research, It's not even new.
I think people they miss the fact of they can train all they want, but if they're not taking the rest they need,
correct,
the game's over. You know what I mean? So guys, prioritize your rest
and recovery,
because that's really going to be the game in this. And I wish I would have known that a long time ago, because it'd be just in a different spot.
Yep.
That's all.
So we got a few minutes left. Let's talk about prep.
Yeah. So we're what are we? We're 5 weeks out today, right?
Yep, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
After just talking to Tom, I get nervous about the timeline always, and it's 5 weeks. But it's is that enough time? Are we good? You're like, yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Especially compared to 5 weeks out of last show, we're in a way better position.
Yeah.
We're holding on to muscle. If not, I still look like I'm growing some.
I can't believe you're still
yeah, my body's just at this point. It's just it has a lot of days so right now with my work schedule and training schedule, it's all over the place. But it's long 14, 15-hour days. So 3-4 days out of the week, I feel like my body looks like shit.
Yeah.
Because it's so inflamed, because I don't really rest it physically. Am I getting sleep? To be honest, I'm getting 6 hours of sleep for the past. It was 4 days in a row. It was 6 hours of sleep. So that just beat me up. And then now I finally got sleep last night. I'm gonna get better sleep again tonight, and then I might have to hit that cycle again of poor sleep the next few days. But other than that, I'm looking really good.
Yeah,
I woke up, we had a refeed meal yesterday, triple burger, small fries, and 6 Krispy Kreme donuts.
Mm-hmm.
So we woke up tighter, better, sharper,
bigger.
Bigger.
I mean, I'll say
and
this.
I'm still flat compared to what I could actually look like, which is amazing. And I woke up very hungry, which is a great sign. After eating, I ate that, and then an hour and a half later, I went to sleep because my body was already digested. I was I feel good to go to sleep. I'm not bloaty. I'm not gassy. The food's just being absorbed and just metabolized rapidly.
Now you did 10 minutes of
10 minutes on the bike as well.
Which is smart. Get the calories.
So Tom always gave me that idea. He's if you're gonna do a refeed, this is from last prep. He was after your refeed, try to just do 20 minutes on the bike, 10 minutes on the bike. Just keep the body moving. Even though I was tired, it was 9:30 at night. I still did it anyway. just 10 minutes, like it's not going to kill me.
No,
you know?
no. If anything, it's only going to help you.
It was only going to help me, so I just pushed through those 10 minutes. I broke out a little sweat, and that was it.
Yeah.
You know, nothing too crazy. And then I showered and went to sleep.
Well, with 6 donuts, I'm sure you fucking sweat like a whore in church.
Yeah. Imagine, right? But you'd be surprised though. As I get tighter though, I sweat less.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it's hard for me to break a sweat.
Well, what I just seen today, because normally we pose after doing a podcast and things like that. But I think I wanted to see what you looked like before getting into this.
Yep.
It's just like weekly changes now. It's like a night and day difference, and people start getting afraid at that 5-week mark.
That's where I was.
And it's just like you're not really holding body fat.
Yeah,
Realistically, it's inflammation and water. I mean, don't get me wrong. Do you have body fat on you? Yeah.
100%.
But where we're at right now, I think we're in a great striking zone, and your body, you're growing, which is insane. Because you're still 203.
203. So I weighed 203 yesterday before the refeed. And then I weighed 203 this morning too, so that means that it was perfect. Like, we didn't overeat, nothing. Like, I knew that my body was capable of handling that food just because of previous test experiences. Mm-hmm. It's all trial and error until you hit it on the nail, and I think that now we're starting to hit it on the nail because this is only our second show together.
Yeah.
And
now we're getting the groove.
So, you know, did I want to tell Tom that I had the 6 donuts? Not really, but I had to tell him because I knew that I did good with it, and also I needed to keep track of things for the future. Yeah. You know, my body responds really well when I deplete for a long time and then refeed with shit food. Yeah. Like lower volume foods that are calorie dense. Yeah. You know,
because we've done the other way for you. We've done the clean food.
Yeah.
We've done that.
It makes me retain water.
Yeah. The next day you don't look right.
I look blobby. Yeah.
So again, I think it's.
We tried it with insulin. We tried it with everything.
We really have. We tried it with every other mechanism, but I think it's like you said. It's having those big, smaller meals, but just full of calorie dense.
Exactly.
You know, it gets your metabolism spiked. It gets everything rocking. Yep. So where we're at right now, we're in a. I can't wait to show people the package that you bring.
The final package.
It's gonna be pretty gnarly.
Thank you.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So anyway,
the prep's going well though.
Prep's going good.
How's your strength?
It's staying the same, if not it's getting a little bit declined. I'll have strength for the first 2 exercises, and then after that I'm pretty much toast. Okay. And that's normal. Yeah. You know? That's normal. So I'm expecting that. That's about it. All we can do is keep pushing. So I just want to say I'm thankful for Tom being my coach. He is a great coach. He does great coaching. If you guys do need a coach, please reach out to him.
Thank you.
I coach as well, so if you're interested in working with me, you're more than welcome to reach out. I love taking on clients that actually fucking work, and we spoke about this last podcast as well. Yep. So that's a wrap for today. Did you have anything else to talk about?
No, I think this was actually good.
I think we covered all the topics that we needed.
It's so funny how we brought this topic up, and I've actually had this conversation twice already.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Within this week.
Awesome.
To people that are I would say not veterans, but I mean I guess veterans to this because we get into this fuck, I got to do this. So I'm glad we brought this up.
Make sure you guys are resting and recovering. Peace the fuck out. See, my prep brain kicked in. I was like, what am I going to say? So my brain just froze. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day, weekend. Take care. We'll see you on the next one.
Enjoy, guys.